All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to, well, a game that I don't quite know what to expect from. Orc versus Night Elf here on Autumn Leaves 2.0. I've been promised some crazy shenanigans from my replay picker, as this was a recommended community replay for all of you guys out there who have ever had said, hey, um, I have this really good replay of a game I played. I purposely do not watch my replays before I cast them, and because of that, well, I don't often cast community replays because I don't have a chance to observe them to make sure that they're actually of a high caliber or just some crazy shenanigans, some low level schemes, things that would be entertaining and interesting enough. This has come across my desk, and I am casting this Orc versus Night Elf here on Autumn Leaves as, well, I believe this is EveNight, Dr. Jones, but EveNight spawning as the red Night Elf over here on the top right. The colors are off because, well, of course they are. The colors were off because I had a 2v2 matchup and had to use ally colors just a moment ago. Anyways, Orc opening things up with a fast Blade Master. Still no sign of a barracks as of yet, so it could be a Blade Master harass into a very fast tech to tier 2. Meanwhile, the Night Elf going for a much more classic opening. There's that Ancient of War with an Archer. Gonna go ahead and clear out in this creep camp here with the help of the Demon Hunter. Whether or not he'll go for immolation, that is a separate question, as the Blade Master getting ready to move out. We see that tech to tier 2 is already done. Dr. Jones or EveNight quickly checking out and scouting this out. Dr. Jones, as we are now going into a war mill right behind this. Alright, so War Mill, Voodoo Lounge all being built now. A second Orc Burrow being built as well, perhaps for some additional protection. And then perhaps building down that barracks in order to get in a bit of that damage. Ancient of War already taking a lot of damage here as it's trying to heal up. Is it going to get that last hit? Oh, do not want that last hit. Archer going to get those last couple of hits and finish that off. Imagine pickaxe on mirror image. Anyways, coming back through, Blade Master quickly selling that Scroll of Town Portal. Circlet of Nobility has been picked up. Blade Master essentially getting +2 to every single stat and pretty much stat-wise gaining a level there. Gonna pick up a Ring of Protection +4 and back away. The Blade Master just trying to go shopping anywhere he can, grabbing all of those items and trying to accessorize. Now going after this No Warden Creep Camp here. Demon Hunter already has hit level 2, did go for Immolation first, Mana Burn a second, should be Mana Burn third, and then perhaps Evasion fourth, but then again, with a Blade Master first, that may not necessarily be the case, as the Blade Master now looks to back up, and this is a very specific build order on a very specific map. You can see how well he's timed everything, has those double healing salves now, as we are going into a third Orc Burrow before even a single production building is done. Alright, kind of odd there to see that many Orc Burrows already down. Tech to tier 2 already done, or nearly done. Meanwhile, EveNight already getting that getting the tier 2, but it's going to be a bit delayed since he does have that Ancient of War and was training up a couple of units early on. Blade Master has picked up a second Circlet of Nobility and does have those healing salves continuing to heal. Perhaps going to try and pick out a Wisp. Nope, just simply going to walk on by. Nope, there. Is he going to be able to finish it off? Demon Hunter is right there. Are we going to see a Wind Walk? No, we are not. Takes a Mana Burn instead, and there's the detonation. Blade Master going up against the Demon Hunter. Who's going to come out on top? Blade Master, does not get a Wind Walk in a time. Was hoping to get a Wind Walk strike there. Ends up taking 2 Mana Burns to the face. And, well, now forced to try and retreat. There is a healing salve. Now picks up Boots of Speed. Really just trying to drop an item or use that healing salve in order to pick up that Boots of Speed. Now using that Clarity Potion and that healing salve as it retreats all the way back. Alright, we are at tier 2. We are getting up a Shadow Hunter. We are getting up our very first production building, a Spirit Lodge followed by a Bestiary, so completely foregoing that early barracks for a faster tech to tier 2 and earlier tier 2 production buildings. Demon Hunter coming across here does have an army of archers, and Demon Hunter could easily engage against all of these units here. Going after the Forest Troll Trapper, it's going to get taken down. Next, the Ogre Magi, no, going to go after another Trapper instead. That's going to get finished off quickly, and then finally the Ogre Magi. Immolation should just be turned off at this point. If you plan on using Moon Wells, it makes sense to turn it off, as well you're replenishing your hit points and your mana. And if there's only a single target, well, you'd rather just take the hit point damage anyways. We are looking at a Panda as the second hero coming in from the Night Elf, and very smart choice there to try and go for that Panda, level it up quickly. You know your opponent went for a fast tech to tier 2, so you know that his hero has been out on the battlefield, and you want to try to make up some of that time difference by giving the Brewmaster or getting the Brewmaster or a Tavern hero out. You forego the that training time if it was an altar hero, and then because of that you have a couple more seconds to make up to try and gain that experience. Shadowhunter is actually stuck inside the base here, needing to take down this tree, unable to push himself out of this weird spot. Shadowhunter, is it finally going to be able to move? And it should be able to move out here in just a moment. There it goes, finally makes his way forward. Doesn't have any healing items just quite yet. Normally the Shadowhunter does a bit of shopping at the Voodoo Lounge before he moves out. So all of that early tech, trying to get that early Shadowhunter out onto the battlefield, pretty much for naught, as the Shadowhunter gets stuck inside the base and for a little bit of a misstep. We are going into tier 3, and we are going into going into Witch Doctors. Alright, so we're going into Troll Witch Doctors here. The Troll Witch Doctors, and Stasis Wards, Sentry Wards, Healing Wards, all very useful, but and we have seen Mass Witch Doctors used somewhat effectively in the past, but I can't quite imagine what that's going to look like here. Witch Doctors do deal decent damage, 10 to 14, plus that Kodo Beast adding in an additional point of damage as well. What are we looking at here? Panda sitting at level 2 does have Drunken Haze, may add in a Breath of Fire more than likely. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter has opted for level 2 Immolation over level 2 Mana Burn. A little bit of an odd choice, as well. A lot of times the Shadowhunter is that second hero if you do see a Blade Master first. The Shadowhunter wanting a large amount of mana, as we're looking at the engagement here to try and pull back. Serpent Wards are now down, going to be doing a bit of poking on this 5-5-3 creep camp. Alright, that Null Assassin making sure to poke every single unit out on the board to get that damage over time going across multiple units, as we're looking at the Enforcers and the Null Assassins getting finished off here, giving level 2 to the Shadowhunter. Meanwhile, Blade Master already up to 13 armor, and he does need a little bit more healing going on for himself. The Shadowhunter still only has one Scroll of the Beast, and that is it, as it looks like there's Formation move? Yeah, it looks like there's Formation move on this army, as that's why they want to make sure that the Blade Master doesn't get too far away from this Kodo Beast, which is trailing in the back. Meanwhile, coming back across on the other side here, Demon Hunter, Brewmaster, all of these units going to perhaps try and get a little bit more experience, get level 3 to that Brewmaster. Level 2 Breath of Fire would be huge. There's Immolation level 2, and that's going to rack up a bit more damage. There's some Drunken Haze. There's a Breath of Fire trying to finish some of those units off as well. Brewmaster looks like it will get to level 3. Demon Hunter gets to level 4 during this time, as the Blade Master now scouts out this Tree of Life off to the north. Serpent Wards are down, Witch Doctors are at Adept training, and there are now going to be some Stasis traps being placed around the field. Couple of Sentry Wards also around the field, and that is going to give a full map hack cheating vision for WitnessAzir. Alright, Vampiric Aura on the Brewmaster. That is going to be helpful for the Demon Hunter as well. We see a Book of the Dead being thrown in. That's going to summon up a nice army as we're looking at a third and final hero from the Orc. Tauren Chieftain going to round things out. We are getting that upgraded War Drum battle increase. That's going to crank out more. And I did not notice this earlier. This is a dual Spirit Lodge strategy. Almost like he is playing Orc as though it's human, trying to go for dual Spirit Lodges, as we now see mastery training on the Witch Doctors, thereby giving in healing wards. Alright, healing wards are extremely powerful. They're a percentage-based heal, and well, a percentage-based heal benefits high hit point units such as these Kodo Beasts. Kodo Beasts are often, however, picked apart very quickly, especially if your opponent has just an army of Dryads and Archers. So much piercing damage. Archers with 700 range piercing, Dryads with 500 should be able to focus down these units easily, and without any bears in the front line or any other units in the front line, they are going to be very much exposed. We haven't seen a transition to Raiders as of yet, as Witch Doctor is just purposely hanging back here. And this may be that Witch Doctor that you purposely leave at home, so that anytime you scroll off Town Portal back home, you have a healing ward waiting and ready for you to get back into action quickly. Alright, it still looks weird to see armies being moved with the formation group on. That formation group, well, finally the hero is able to pull out a little bit forward. Now that Blade Master walking a little bit slow. You can see those Kodo Beasts do have a slow movement speed, thereby affecting the fast or the very fast moving Blade Master in fights. Granite Golem gonna get cleaned up here. Level 4, level 3. Archers, Dryads, Force Troll Berserker, a lot of piercing damage, and both sides are just not engaging against the other team yet. We're looking at 3-2-1 heroes going up against a level 4, level 3. If the Demon Hunter can get to level 5, that should be enough, but we're now looking at, instead, the Tauren Chieftain, Blade Master, and Shadow Hunter. They may be the ones to be able to level up and, well, perhaps not take too much damage. As you can see, well, those Troll Witch Doctors do actually deal quite a bit of damage to these Dire Frostwolves with that bonus damage against that heavy armor. And, well, Troll Witch Doctors actually have a very high damage considering that they are a caster, as the Tauren Chieftain now picks up Immolation with that Cloak of Flames, and also with that +7 additional armor off of those Rings of Protection. Alright, the majority of the map has been cleared out and crept out. We can take a look. Low hit point Dryad, well, teleported back home, but not drinking any of the Moonwell juice for a second. They are finally drinking from a Moonwell juice and making its way out. We do see the Hunter's Hall. No additional blessing, as both sides now starting to bank up a decent amount of gold. 1,500 gold compared to 12, and both sides are just trying to find the right opportunity. Alright, here we go. Little bit of poking damage. Stasis traps are now down, and the Dryads are getting ready to fight off to the north here. Units are going to try and retreat back, fall away, and fall back towards these units, as we're going to see a stasis trap now perhaps proc here. There you are. Here we go. Immolation. Tauren Chieftain now trying to go after all of those units. Immolation. Book of the Dead now trying to swarm, as the Kodo Beasts really have nothing to really eat except some Dryads. Stasis traps are down. Dryads are trying to poke apart all of those casters in the back, but the Serpent Wards are also poking them back as well. Both sides suffering heavy losses. So many healing wards down on the battlefield and wards on the battlefield that it doesn't make sense to try and focus them out. Blade Master gets taken down. Staff of Preservation saves the Demon Hunter, as the units are looking to retreat back. Kodo Beast never got a chance to try and chomp on a Dryad, even though there is one right behind that Kodo Beast there. Healing wards trying to prevent much of that damage, as we're looking at more jumping on in. You can see those stasis traps, how effective they are being. There's a follow-up stomp followed by stasis traps, and that is a very long stun indeed. Tauren Chieftain doesn't need Lightning Shield. It has a weaker version that's permanent in that Immolation aura, as we're looking at the healing wards trying to recover some of those lost hit points here. All right, both sides continuing to fight away. Tree of Life down to 650 some odd hit points, trying to be repaired and get back up as the Shadow Hunter now retreats back as well. All right, that's too many healing wards down on the battlefield. Demon Hunter gets up to level 5 here. There is a stasis trap in position, and now you can see all of these Witch Doctors are actually quite low on hit points as the Blade Master now back out on the battlefield did get a nice big critical strike right there. Units are falling back though, don't want to continue to stick around in this battle. Demon Hunter tries to dive on in. Are we going to see a stasis trap? No, we are not, as the repairs are underway on this Tree of Life. Dual Expo by EveNight. He's sitting at 54 over 70, getting in a little bit of additional gold here, but he is in low upkeep. Meanwhile, we're looking at new Troll Witch Doctors to join in on the battlefield as we are starting a little bit of long-distance mining and now going into, low upkeep for WitnessAzir as well. 15 minutes into this game, no clear winner. Blade Master does have some nice boosted damage at that plus 18, level 2 critical strike. Could get up to, needs to stay alive in that front line if he wants to continue to lead this army. Level 3, level 3, level 2 going up against a hero level advantage, Night Elf. And with these expos in position, it feels like EveNight is just going to pull away with the economic advantage, translating into a sustainable army. Mass Witch Doctors out on the battlefield here. Dual Kodo Beast as well. Army size 41 supply compared to 45. That is very much similar at this point in the stage, as this Great Hall is already done. I believe a tiny Great Hall, setting up this expo in no time flat. All right, where are the units going to be going next? Trying to, branch off to the north. There is a stasis trap already in position that has probably another minute or so. If they can force an engagement here and start with that stasis trap, that would be huge. Trying to take down the Ancient of Wonders. Ancient of Wonders quickly, gets completed in time. There's one stasis trap already down. There's a Hex to start the battle. Kodo Beast not actually eating anything here, as we're going to see that stasis trap proc right at the start of the fight. All right, Demon Hunter does have immolation down. Stasis trap, another place down. There's a stomp. There's a stasis trap in the back. So all of those units are stunned for a little while. Is this stasis trap going to proc as well? There goes another stun. And now the Tauren Chieftain may try to stay alive here. No, unable to do exactly that. The healing ward's not enough. Kodos, are they eating anything? Yes, Druids of the Claw are in the belly, so that is 8 supply swing right there. Rejuvenation on the Druid of the Claw finally taken down with Focus Fire as the units are retreating back. All right, we don't see any additional stomps there. If the Tauren Chieftain was actually alive, one more stomp would have been enough to take down more units. Level 4 on the Blade Master nearly. Level 3 on that Shadow Hunter, just waiting for this Ancient of War to fall. And what is this Witch Doctor doing? Perhaps going to try and, kind of hide off to the side, but there is a Wisp right there. All right, stasis traps outlying this army here. We're going to see a little bit of protection. Oh, this Troll Witch Doctor doesn't realize where he's going. Healing Ward is down. Blade Master trying to fight Tauren Chieftain. There's that stomp off to the north. Kodo Beast trying to retreat back here. Are we going to see a Digestion level up? That could be the case. Blade Master already at level 4. Take it back as the Shadow Hunter trying to retreat back here. Units are still trying to fall back. There's some more stasis traps. The Torrent or the Demon Hunter could be in trouble. It does get a Staff of Preservation back out. If that Staff of Preservation procced a split second earlier, the Demon Hunter would have been down as well, as he was cutting it a little bit close. You cannot count on not getting stunned in this fight, as we now see Mirror Image out. Kodo Beast still digesting. There's more stasis traps as well, and this game is absolutely stunning. All right, another Druid of the Claw getting taken out as the Shadow Hunter, needs to regroup its mana a bit more. Kodo Beast, we're looking at 40 supply compared to 55. And Blade Master Illusion also getting in on the fight here, trying to take down some of these units. Troll Witch Doctor is continuing to flail with those, voodoo sticks, not quite sure what else to call them. They're those staves, as the Tauren Chieftain's back out here on the battlefield with Endurance Aura. Both sides running up on 2 bases. EveNight could saturate back up and run up on 3. But remember, Witness is still holding on to no upkeep. So he's been mining 20 gold a second throughout this match compared to just 14. Or at best, just 21. Wow, so EveNight, even at full saturation here, because of how they're paying their taxes, well, it makes a difference. All right. Goblin Shredder now being, well, called back here. A little bit of lumber issues. Peons being forced to work on the lumber line instead. Goblin Shredder, is it going to try and clear this place out? It is a little bit more exposed, so it could end up exposing all of this tree line here if he isn't prepared. So after all of this, WitnessAzir is in trouble because he wasn't paying attention to his balance and now being forced to spend more money on items, and instead of being able to train up additional units now because of that limiting resource. All right, Spirit Lodge cranking out more units. Perhaps another Kodo Beast could be added. We're looking at the Blade Master wandering out here. Tauren Chieftain is out as we are looking at an Ancient Protector here on the bottom right to scout out this expo location, make sure it doesn't get started. All right, a little bit of a break in the action as both sides try to figure out what their follow-up strategy is. WitnessAzir sitting at 60 over 92 supply could easily get into 80 supply as he's sitting on 2,000 gold. And now bringing in a Goblin Shredder into the fight as well. Tauren Chieftain desperately wants to get to level 3, hasn't had the opportunity yet since that early takedown. Does have a Scroll of Speed and that Potion of Invulnerability, which could be incredibly important. Couple of traps just being placed all around the map, and that could greatly change the outcome of any fights here. Remember, the Troll Witch Doctors almost need that little bit of time that WitnessAzir took here to recharge a lot of their mana. There you have it. There's a healing ward already down. There's a stasis trap. Another stasis trap could be placed down right there. And here we are. Here we go. There's a Tauren Chieftain stomp. A long stun right there. Are we going to get a stasis trap? Well, stun, yes we are. There goes another one. Another stunning fight here as we now see a transition into Fairy Dragons. Another stasis trap now done as the Witch Doctors are trying to retreat back. Demon Hunter making short work of them. But what is going to go down here as another stasis goes down? All right, Shadow Hunter purposely trying to back away is going to try and engage here. The Fairy Dragons are just absolutely mopping up on the floor here as the Peons are joining in on the fight. There's a quick Hex. There's some more Serpent Wards as the Serpent Wards are the only thing that can really engage against those Fairy Dragons. Shadow Hunter could be in a little bit of trouble. There goes another Hex again and continuing to fight their way through. Kodo Beast is here. And what is going down? The Fairy Dragons with an initial strong start. More hexing coming in from the far side as the Blade Master wants to figure out a way to heal up. Demon Hunter completely ignores the Shadow Hunter. There goes another Hex again. There goes the Druid of the Claw. And we could be looking at the Panda getting taken down. There is a Purge. And, well, there goes the Pandaren Brewmaster. Top left-hand side, a Troll Witch Doctor sees a whole bunch of low hit point Orc units. Thinks about it and then finally places down that healing ward. But that was a decisive victory battle here as many of those wisps now getting cleaned up. Percentage heal across the board. A Blade Master healing up nicely. Tauren Chieftain already back up to full. And the Shadow Hunter, who was on the precipice of death for so long, able to stay alive, keeping that Panda away with, the Shadow Hunter's consistent hexes. All right. New towers coming down. Priestess of the Moon out here on the battlefield, adding in a second orb of venom. Stasis trap already here, ready to go. Blade Master going to try and engage. There's the stasis trap trying to go after. There's a mirror image, and there's a potential surround already. Demon Hunter trying to break its way through. Going to have a difficult time. Tauren Chieftain doesn't throw down a stomp. I thought we were going to see a stomp there. Instead, we're going to see a stasis trap onto a Kodo Beast. Is this gonna end up getting taken out? I believe so. There's a critical strike. There is another dead as the Kodo Beast looks to back away. It looks as though they're gonna finish digestion once more. no Kodo Beast level up, as we're still looking at more heals coming across. Do we have any Witch Doctors back at home? No, we do not, but we do see a Tree of Life being built at that 4 o'clock spot. More Witch Doctors and Kodo Beasts looking to join in on the battle. 56 supply compared to 36. EveNight in a little bit of trouble here. The Fairy Dragons worked out well. Demon Hunter going after the Witch Doctors did clean them up quite a bit, but losing control, not going after a low hit point Shadow Hunter, ultimately losing the Panda and giving all of that experience has really given Orc the experience advantage. All right. Making another home out here on Autumn Leaves. Witness is trying to sit back and, well, have the fight be brought to him. That's exactly the strategy you want if you have traps, right? If you have traps, you want to fight on your own home field advantage. You want the stasis traps, you want the healing wards, you want the serpent wards. If your best move is to be static and bring your opponent to you, make points of interest that your opponent has to attack. And that's exactly what WitnessAzir is doing. Placing down those stasis traps, those healing wards here, and establishing this expo at the 10 o'clock position. This expansion here still has about 11 minutes of mining left, but I don't think it will be able to come to full fruition. Otherwise, problems will arise. What is this Goblin Shredder doing? Walking all the way around the trees to clear out these creep camps here, as we could be looking at an engagement. Mountain Giant out here as well. Kodo Beast. There is 4 Kodo Beasts out here on the battlefield. They could easily eat up those Druids of the Claw. That is why EveNight now transitioning over to Mountain Giants instead. Alright, Orb of Venom trying to get in damage over time. This Expo now being scouted out over on the bottom right. Torrent Chieftain going to try and heal up here in just a moment. Trying to get into position here in just a moment. Blade Master does have a mirror image. There's a Staff of Teleportation inbound. Demon Hunter trying to hold on and regain his footing here, as we're looking at stasis traps just clearly all across the battlefield. Once again, mana is a product of time. So the more Witch Doctors you have out on the battlefield, the more you can do with it. You can see that Demon Hunter forcing 3 shots against a stasis trap, as more stasis traps are being placed down. All right, we see another stasis trap being placed down here, and well, units are just trying to retreat back. Oh, Ancient Protector trying to join in. It looks as though more stasis traps are being placed down as well. There goes a quick hex. There's a reveal, as the healing wards are protecting in the back here. Torrent Chieftain says, you know what, I can just put my foot down in order to get some stunning damage, as the Kodo Beast providing that damage bonus. Demon Hunter getting hexed once again. We're looking at another stasis trap being thrown down again. Torrent Chieftain wanted to throw down another stomp, unable to do that, as the Demon Hunter here dives in with level 3 Immolation. Alright, diving in with level 3 Immolation, still dealing damage, as even though he's in that hex form, as he's trying to retreat back again. Panda trying to push on through. Is he going to be able to get any breath of fire? We're looking at level 5 now. Shadow Hunter continuing to push again, as the Blade Master trying to burst down a Mountain Giant, and going to be able to do exactly that. Oh, Doctor. I guess someone calling for the Doctor, man. Mass Witch Doctors being able to use their mana effectively and just making an absolutely stunning game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And thanks for taking all the dad jokes.